So I grew up in the streets. Like it wasn't a bad life, and I got into some trouble. I found it. I found it, or if it found me. Probably around 7th grade, I started smoking a lot, and then I started selling it. After middle school, kind of in high school, I started getting in a lot of trouble. I would be in and out of jail. I ended up catching a big case in 2009. I go in there and he sends me to 33 years. I was just like, man, I'm about to be in prison for a long time, and I've never been to prison. I don't know what's gonna happen.
I was raised religious. I went to church every Sunday. And so when I went to college, I kind of stopped going to church. When I was a junior, I was sent home from school because of COVID. For the past few months, I just hadn't been feeling that good. Felt like my body was off, something wasn't right. I went and bought a pregnancy test. It was immediately positive. And I went to the doctor a few days later, and they were like, when did you find out you were pregnant? And I was like, 4 days ago. And they were like, well, you're 38 weeks. And I was like, oh. So on a Thursday, I found out I was 38 weeks pregnant, and I had my son 4 days later. So it just felt like my whole life blew up. Most women have 9 months to prepare to be a mom, and I had 4 days.
There was this sermon. He had all these balloons. One said money, one said family, school, work, everything. And of course, he couldn't hold all of them at the same time. He was talking about giving up control over everything. I definitely feel like Jesus was speaking to me in that moment. I didn't have to hold on to everything, and I definitely felt like I had to.
Well, I was 21, making a lot more money than a 21-year-old should, completely addicted to gambling. Started off small, and I just kind of got hooked. And eventually that leads to getting a loan shark, and then you're just never out of debt. It got so high that you can't pay it. Through the years of gambling, it turns into lie after lie after lie after cover up after lie. And eventually I couldn't lie anymore. My parents, like always, stepped up and bailed me out, but I was still really missing something.
I get out and I just go right back to it. I'm back doing cocaine and back drinking. I just was battling with myself because I couldn't let it go. Just got into a fight with some guys that, I get stabbed in the neck. I was sitting in the backyard and I just said, God, please just take me away. I can't live like this no more. I can't live like this. I'm gonna get killed, or I'm gonna end up back in prison, or I'm gonna kill somebody. I don't know what else to do. I need help. I'm tired. And I knew I was at my lowest point.
Something drugged me into this church, and I haven't looked back. I felt so welcome, but I shouldn't have been welcomed here. Pastor Ted said, a better life starts with better obedience to God. I think it just clicked. You can't just keep living however you want.
I was here again for a service, and there was a couple seats from me and this other woman, and we got to conversing, and I told her about this time that critical illness entered in one of my family members. I became so overwhelmed when I told her this, and she just prayed for me. And the way that she prayed about how he loves us, I realized that I needed that, and that I wouldn't be able to get it anywhere else.
I checked into rehab, and that's kind of where I just kept praying. I gotta ask you, and I need you to guide me. I'm not doing this, I need you to do this. I really don't know, I just turned into this whole nother person, and I've been clean ever since. I want everybody to know that I am following Jesus, and that God has put me here, and he has opened my eyes to whole new levels.
I was at church, and I just remember being able to just breathe. It felt like a rock had been lifted off of me, and I felt like I could give up everything I've been holding in for the past few years. Always felt a little bit shameful of my story as well. I know that what Jesus is a forgiving God, and he is a loving God. And so I feel like knowing someone in my life who is so truly forgiving and loving is what saved me.
I feel freer. He saved my life. He means everything to me.
Jesus is the opportunity of new life, to make the decision to follow him and to accept his and God's will for your life. I'm Olivia, and I'm getting baptized.
I'm Jake, and I'm getting baptized.
I'm Maddie, and I'm getting baptized today.
I'm Christopher, and I'm getting baptized.